Hi everybody, it is Carrie. Okay, today's topic is called respect. Something most of us know very little of, and that includes me. So, we're going to learn this together. The one thing that I strongly feel um, for me is if you want respect from me, give it. Show me respect in return. I may give you respect first, but I'm also waiting for some respect in return and not um, condemnation or degradation or humiliation, which is usually what people tend to hand out there. People are not, you want to say kind or caring to others in this day and age, but mostly there's just no respect. It doesn't even have to be for elders. I mean, when I was raised, it was respect your elders, right? Whether they were right or wrong, what have you. That's kind of gone out the window because I'll tell you, I know some elders that do some really awful, terrible things. I'm not going to be able to respect you if your morals and your ethics have declined. I don't care how old you are. Just because you're old does not give you the right to disrespect other people or be harmful intentionally. So, the first rule of thumb, you want respect, give it. And this goes for parents and children too. I realize that there is a generation of people out there, especially mine, that are like, we don't have to respect you. You're a kid. You'll always be a kid to them. It's like, no. Respect is a reciprocal thing here. So you want my respect. I'm a grown adult now. You have to earn my respect too. You don't just get it. It's like trust. You don't just trust people, so you don't just respect people either. Um, Respect I also see in a combination with trust in that I like to be respectful to people and give them trust right off the bat. Now, a lot of people have told me, and it's leading to my demise, my death, but, and I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice today. The beauty of it is you'll never know who you can trust until you do trust them and they screw you over, so to speak, or stab you in the back. And I'm at that point where it's like maybe nobody should be trusted, nobody at all in this entire world. It's sad. It's really sad because then who deserves respect? Nobody. Not your police, not your firemen, not your doctors, you know, definitely not lawyers. Oh my god. Don't get me started on lawyers. I want to become a lawyer just so I can sue every lawyer out there. Okay? It's just, oh god, they start more wars than anything else. I don't think anyone's ever respected me. Ever. In my entire life. I have been backstabbed more. And why? Because I trust. Because you have my trust. Even if um, a covenant between us, like for family, for example, is broken, um, I will be forgiving, let you back in, trust you again, and I get stabbed in the back even worse than I did before. So it's kind of like I'm the laughing stock in a way because I trusted. But one day you will realize that that was one of the greatest gifts you were given by a human being. And there will be huge regret. I know for all those who stabbed me in the back, there will be huge regret because you'll see nobody. It wasn't that I was naive and stupid. It was because I gave you a gift, and you laughed and mocked that gift, which is respect and trust. And very few people are going to give it to you. And when you finally get none, when you can't afford to buy it, most people are buying respect and trust right now through power and control and money. When you can't afford to buy it anymore, you're going to think back to those who just gave it to you without you even earning it. And there will be regret at some point. going back to parents. Well, before we hit up the parents, let's hit up respect between friends. Something that comes to mind is when I had friends, for example, that were getting a divorce. I don't like to take sides. I think it's respectful to honor your friendship with both people. Did somebody cheat on somebody? Yes, guess what? That's their personal relationship. That shouldn't have any bearing on whether this person's my friend or not. Am I the judge and jury for the ethics and whether or not they should have cheated or not? Did I live in their home and know every fact that drove somebody to do something? Did that person apologize and they feel terrible about it, but they realize this marriage isn't right for them or this relationship isn't right for them, and maybe they've apologized and said that they shouldn't have cheated, but they did. I don't know all these things. I don't live in their home unless we're all on reality TV 24/7 where we can watch any human being in the world. We're not going to know. And then, did we watch every second of their life to be able to make a fair judgment? We can't. And that is why they say God is the only judge. Only fair judge. He's the only one who has seen everything and knows everything to make that judgment call. The only respectful judgment call to make if you're going to take a side is on yourself. Which side of yourself do you side with? This having to take sides when couples are splitting up or, between children and parents and things like that, it's unnecessary. What we really need to do is, if we really want to be respectful people, we need to respect each other in a way where we're understanding both sides, because people are hurt to begin with. Why add more insult, injury, and hurt by taking a side of one person against another and then betraying one of your friends? It's unnecessary. None of it makes any sense unless we want to control making somebody else feel miserable and rotten, which it seems is the way of the world right now. It's like, if you can control somebody else's emotions, you feel like you're some big rock star, and that's baloney. Okay, I mean, get a life. If you enjoy hurting other people, you need to get a life, because there's something wrong with you. Nobody should enjoy hurting other people, even if it's your enemy. Now, I'm just as bad with this when, if karma hits, and I'm like, oh, that's finally the karma. That's finally the justice. It's coming, and you want to smile, and you want to feel good about it. But the thing to remember, do not gloat and sit in that feeling. Maybe for a minute second or two, a minute max, and then let it wash over you. Because if you don't, you will be the next one in those shoes. Something will happen where you will do something you will regret, and you will be in those shoes. So do not find too much glory in karma or justice at all. Just be happy it was served and move on. That's the respectful thing to do, not gloating in it. And then getting back to parents, like for me, I had to grow up really fast. I had a father who was a truck driver and was never there. I had a mother who needed help with 2 small children. And it was just us girls basically for a long time. My brother was the youngest, and he was 8 years younger than me. And so I had to grow up really fast. I had to learn how to fix a lot of things. I had to learn how to do a lot of adult responsibilities. I mean, I even had to fix a sump pump, I think, at the age of 12. So, I had to learn things really, really fast. The responsibilities I had to take on the abuse. And I'll be honest with you, I took on the brunt of the abuse for my siblings. When I left home, oh my gosh, my sister called me non-stop about arguments between her and my mother. I fielded all that stuff. I took the brunt of my mother's abuse. When I left, I think I was only gone a few months when I got this horrible phone call from my sister. And her and my mom were fighting, and literally she threw a chair at my mother. She was throwing sharp knives across the room at my mother to keep my mother from beating her. I took that abuse. I took those beatings. I took that stuff, and once I was gone, my siblings hated me. They had to take that. My mother had to be able to abuse somebody in order to get her aggressions out. And I was the oldest, so I was the one who took it. She wants me to respect her. I can't respect her until, here's the big thing is I can say, you weren't the perfect parent. There is no parent rule book that tells you how to be the perfect parents or how to deal with your emotions or your feelings. And I get it. It's okay. I forgive you. Let's let it go. But what I get in return, you need therapy. You need help. You know what? When I was growing up, honey, you needed therapy. You needed help to not abuse your children. Okay? The children who had to stay quiet because their father would tell them, anything that happens in this house stays in this house. You are a child. You have no rights. You will be punished severely if you say anything that happens behind these closed doors. Showing your children porn. Would you like to have sex? Have you thought about doing this with someone? Do you want to do it with your child? Okay? No. You needed therapy. You still need therapy because you think what you did was okay. Respect is saying, I wasn't the best parent. I'm sorry for the mistakes that I made. And in return, your child respects you back and says, you know what? It was a growing experience for all of us. It's okay. I still love you. That's respect. Giving and taking. Reciprocal respect between a parent and a child. Not continuing to barrage and attack your child because of the mistakes you made. And vice versa. A child continuing, to say you were bad parents, you belong in jail for the rest of your life. There has to be some form of forgiveness. People have to own their shit first, though. Like I say, own the truth before the truth owns you. You can't clear slates if you don't own any responsibility. If you can't own it, it still stays on the plate. It doesn't go anywhere. Own the truth. It cleans the plate. You can go on to a new day. You can forget anything ever happened. It's that easy. Anyway, even through all of that with my parents, until I was 40 years old, I still wanted them to love me. I still wanted to do anything to impress them, to make them happy, to see my worth and value. This is how disrespectful my mother was to me. In my 20s, I remember having a phone call with her, and I had to pay for all the phone calls. It was long distance. I would call her all the time, pay for them, to the point where my husband said, you can't call your mother anymore. This phone bill is too big. I had to stop talking to my mother because my mother didn't call me. She wouldn't pay for a phone conversation with me. I had to pay to talk to her. Should have been my first clue that my mother could have cared less if I was alive or dead, but I still held on to that love for a parent and that need for that love. And in my 20s, I remember having a phone conversation with her saying, oh yeah, I'm really stressed out because we are having financial issues, but I'm trying to figure out how to get this financial stuff cleaned up as quick as possible so that I can start putting money away because you and Dad are going to get older and you're going to need my help. My mother immediately, hysterically starts laughing on the phone. Hysterically. I'm like, what's funny? She goes, I would never count on you to help me in old age. That would be a joke. And she mocked me. I made fun of me. And when I hung up, I was just literally in tears. Here I was in my 20s trying to plan on how to help them in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. And she mocked me and laughed at me. That's not respectful to your child. You know what I did? I cried and cried and cried. Tore up all the sheets of stuff that I was trying to figure out for a future to help them. And I said, fine, then I won't help you. Then I won't be there. It was the beginning of me saying I've had enough abuse from this wicked woman who would talk to me in private like that and mock me and pick on me and make me feel less than. But in public, oh, this is my daughter. It was disgusting. And then when I would look at her like, are you insane? Why are you treating me so nice? And then people would think I'm being mean to her. But what they didn't understand is I couldn't understand why she was being nice to me. Most of the time she hated me. Why now, all of a sudden, am I just the greatest thing you ever had? She's putting on a show that made me then look bad because I didn't even understand the show. I'm not fake. I can't pretend like that with people. I give the truth. And, that's a good sign of disrespecting again. Of treating people two different ways. That, to manipulate others' minds and make them think something of you. After, enough disrespect, by the time I was in my 40s, I remember just having an all-out crying fest and finally saying, I don't care if my parents respect me. I don't care if they ever love me. I am done. Then when my husband tried to poison me, I thought this is God's way of bringing us back together, trying to reunite a family. I did go to them, which is the biggest mistake I could have made because they were working with him. I walked right into my enemy, which I already knew was my enemy. But here I am, trying to start over again with these people, and they're trying to help kill me. Well, needless to say, that's never going to happen again. I will die by my own hand before I will ever have anything to do with these people again. Lack of respect. Okay? Don't expect people to respect you when you can't ever give out any. And to the point where to hide your family secrets, you are going to try to kill your child. Let me show respect to my parents for doing that. They deserve all the respect in the world. No, you don't. I don't care if you're a parent or a grown, overgrown adult. You don't deserve respect if you're going to do stuff like that. Your morals and ethics have fallen to such a low that even the abuse that you gave me as a child looks great. Wow, I actually have more respect for. Now, I'm not saying that all the abuse, the spankings and stuff we didn't deserve. I deserved some. I'll own it. I definitely did. But not to some of the extents that you went. But that's okay. I can let it go. It was a growth experience for both of us. I survived. But what you ended up doing in the end, people can't respect you for that. You don't do that to people. No. You own your truth, you suck it up, and you move on to the next day. Even when somebody tries to humiliate you. I've always been this way. I'm like, you can't blackmail me. I'll just go, yep, I own it. Yep. You want to hate me, you want to disown me, you want to blackball me, you want me to starve to death. Okay, then that's what shall be. Because I'm going to own the truth. So, you can't own me. I make a great ally because I'm loyal and truthful. But if you're not going to give that back and respect me the same way, I'm not going to hold your secret. Plain and simple. And I've always felt that actions speak louder than words. So respect can come in many forms. People can say anything they want, but are their actions aligning with what they're saying? So if they're acting inappropriately, or their behavior is way off, where the behavior and the actions themselves are disrespectful, then don't trust their words. You don't have to respect them back. You know, the words and the actions have to kind of align here, and actions will always speak louder than words, behavior. One thing about loyalty in respect is that it doesn't mean that you dismiss the truth. When I say I'm loyal, I'll keep your secret, it doesn't mean that if that is a truth that is harmful to somebody else, I'm going to keep it. True loyalty is being that person's advocate in, yes, standing up for them, but helping them own their truth and saying that, okay, you did this terrible thing. As long as you own it, I'm still by your side, because that is somebody that I can trust. They're going to own the truth. That is a good sign of loyalty. We have loyalty very miscued in this world right now. That loyalty means you let bad things happen. And that's not loyalty. That makes you a criminal. That's loyalty has nothing to do with criminal actions. You are not being loyal to that person, because loyalty truly is helping that person be a better person too. That's true loyalty. That's true friendship. That's a true ally. It's holding you accountable, because they're teaching you how to be a better person, not how to get away with things. That's not loyalty. I'm sorry. That's criminal behavior. So don't be going out breaking laws. And anyone that gives you the truth, no matter how ugly that truth is, that should be respected in the utmost on high. Because the truth, that deserves respect. That person is risking it all. They're taking their emotions and their feelings and everything and bundling it and trusting that they can move on from it, and they deserve respect for that. Coming out with the truth is a very hard thing to do. And no matter what your truth is, it should be respected that you had enough honor to do it, to say it, to come out and wipe a slate clean and start a new chapter and help people see that's the right thing to do. Alright, enough preaching. My Bible verse on this one is from Philippians chapter 2, verse 3. And it says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves." I don't know if respect can be summed up any better than that. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves. We can all learn a lot from that, and that includes me. Every day is a new learning lesson as I go back and reflect and review on the things I've done wrong, and I own my truths. You may be like, well, I can't respect her because she did this or she did that, or to be honest with you, you should respect me because at least I'm owning the truth. And I'm somebody who's going to give you the truth. I'm someone you can trust. Because I'm going to tell the truth. No matter what, no matter how humiliating it is, degrading, whatever it is. If it's the truth, I'm going to own it. Now, if it's not the truth, I'm going to Say it's not the truth. And then you can trust in that. There's very few people in this world that are brave enough to own their shit. When you come across those people, be proud of them, be respectful, because for them to even get to that point, they've taken a lot of abuse. They've taken a lot of humiliation. And they're so used to it that they've become accustomed to it that no matter what anybody thinks about them, they don't care anymore. And that is strength. True strength is not caring what other people think and being able to walk a solo road if need be. So, give those kind of people respect. They own the truth. Probably something the vast majority of you can't do. But like I always say, own the truth before the truth owns you. Because one day, it will. You're just delaying the inevitable. So be brave, be strong, and own your truth. And then, you can be respected. Okay. Love you. Bye.